Joining me now is former Texas Congressman Kevin Brady. Welcome back, sir. It's been a long time.
It has. It's great to see you, Stuart. Thanks for having me.
I got a serious question to get going here.
Yes, sir.
What place do Jewish voters have in the Democratic Party these days?
Boy, I don't know. It's been a very troubling turn here among the Democrat Party. Not all, but far too many. You're seeing these, I'd like to say crazy, but they're dangerous statements from, in this case, a front-running candidate who wants to represent South Texas and is accusing Jewish billionaires of orchestrating drug and human trafficking, accusing those who are pro-Israel of treason. We're seeing, unfortunately, just too much of this in these Democrat primaries.
Let's change the subject. Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren is laying out what her party needs to do in order to win the midterms. Watch this.
If we want to win the 2026 midterms and have a fighting chance in 2028, then we need to convince Americans that we're serious about taking on the big fights and lowering costs. I think it's that straightforward. And that means we have to do more than just general hand waving. The hand waving's been going on for a long time. What it means is specific proposals that would make meaningful differences in people's lives.
Congressman, does she mean things like packing the Supreme Court or creating a new state in Puerto Rico and D.C.? Is that what she's talking about? Is that what they really want?
Yeah, none of that's going to make life more affordable for people. And I think for voters, this one's an easy one. You can look two places to see the promises on affordability. One is a year and a half ago, Democrats were running Washington. Inflation was at cruel levels. Everything was going up. And secondly, just look at the Democrat states, whether it's New York or California, New Jersey, Illinois, where the cost of living is driving out businesses, driving out young people, making it impossible to have a future. And I guess that's great for states like Texas and Florida, sort of the free market states where there's lower costs, lower regulation, more jobs and opportunity. But yeah, I don't, boy, that is not a platform Democrats have delivered on affordability.
The mayor of Dallas, Texas, Eric Johnson, now he is slamming socialist tax policies. Watch this.
We down here in Texas and in Dallas in particular, we actually believe that business is not our enemy. We're not trying to bring business to its knees. We're not trying to punish successful people who create jobs, people who lead businesses. I've said that Dallas is America's sanctuary city from socialism because we really do unabashedly embrace capitalism down here. So we have been net recipients of jobs and people for the past several years now, and they're coming from New York and California specifically.
Is he the only mayor of a big city in America that takes on socialism? It looks like it, doesn't it?
It does, and I kind of love that phrase, sanctuary city against socialism. Look, North Texas is on a roll. So is Austin, Houston, where I live, the Woodlands, just unbelievable. We've seen literally hundreds of businesses move from California, New York, high-tax states into our state, bringing those jobs, bringing those opportunities to us. And I don't know why these states keep driving these policies that are so damaging. We're benefiting. We are benefiting in a big way, and I don't know why they're not listening to the mayor on issues like this.
30 seconds, sir. Any comment on Trump backing Paxton and not Cornyn?
Well, the issue isn't whether who will support President Trump's agenda. They both do. The question is, who is the conservative who can best win this seat, keep it safe, and go right back to work supporting the president? Full disclosure, I believe that's John Cornyn. I served with him, tax reform, the courts, pro-family values, border. So look, we have a primary race, and everyone's going to run straight through it.
Okay. I had to ask the question. Congressman, always a pleasure. Do not be a stranger. We'll see you again soon, I hope. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.